Gregory was born in 329 in Cappadocia, in modern-day Turkey, near the city of Nazianzen. Sent to school in Caesarea, he met Saint Basil the Great. A well-traveled man, Gregory lived or studied in the major centers of learning of his day, Alexandria, Athens, and Constantinople. Torn between the monastic life and a scholastic one, Gregory joined his friend Basil in the monastic life, but eventually went home to tend to his ailing father, and was ordained a priest there in 361. Appointed as Bishop of Sassima by Basil, Gregory was unsuited to the task, returned again to Nazianzen to help his father. Gregory soon left Nazianzen to join the monastery at Seleucia. Around 379, the emperor at Constantinople asked Gregory to come to Constantinople in order to save the city from the Arian heresy. Tumultuously appointed the Bishop of Constantinople, and after calling the Council of Constantinople, Gregory resigned his see after much intrigue. Gregory returned home and spent his remaining years in writing. Gregory died around the year 389. Known for his defense of the Nicene Creed and the Trinity, Saint Gregory was named a Doctor of the Church in 1568.
But the scope of our art is to provide the soul with wings, to rescue it from the world and give it to God. And to watch over that which is in his image, if it abides, to take it by the hand, if it is in danger, to restore it, if ruined. To make Christ to dwell in the heart by the Spirit, and, in short, to deify, and bestow heavenly bliss upon, one who belongs to the heavenly host. Orations 2, an exposition on the priestly character. If ever there was a time when the Father was not, then there was a time when the Son was not. If ever there was a time when the Son was not, then there was a time when the Spirit was not. If the one was from the beginning, then the three were so as well. If you throw down the one, I am bold to assert that you do not set up the other two. For what profit is there in an imperfect Godhead? Or rather, what Godhead can there be, if it is not perfect? And how can that be perfect, which lacks something of perfection? And surely there is something lacking, if it hath not the Holy. And how would it have this, if it were without the Spirit? For either holiness is something different from him, and if so, let someone tell me what it is conceived to be, or if it is the same, how is it not from the beginning? As if it were better for God to be at one time imperfect and apart from the Spirit? If he is not from the beginning, he is in the same rank with myself. Even though a little before me, for we are both parted from the Godhead by time. If he is in the same rank with myself, how can he make me God, or join me with the Godhead? Orations on the Holy Spirit, number 4. For if he is not to be worshipped, how can he deify me by baptism? But if he is to be worshipped, surely he is an object of adoration, and if an object of adoration, he must be God. The one is linked to the other, a truly golden and saving chain. And indeed from the Spirit comes our new birth, and from the new birth, our new creation. And from the new creation our deeper knowledge of the dignity of him, from whom it is derived. Orations 5, on the Holy Spirit. If you are a Simon of Cyrene, take up the cross and follow. If you are crucified with him as a robber, acknowledge God as a penitent robber. If you be a Joseph of Arimathea, beg the body from him that crucified him, make thine own that which cleanses the world. If you be a Nicodemus, the worshipper of God by night, bury him with spices. If you be a Mary, or another Mary, or a Salome, or a Joanna, weep in the early morning. Be first to see the stone taken away, and perhaps you will see the angels and Jesus himself. Be a Peter or a John, hasten to the sepulchre, running together, running against one another, vying in the noble race. And even if you be beaten in speed, win the victory of zeal, not looking into the tomb, but going in. And if, like a Thomas, you were left out when the disciples were assembled, to whom Christ shows himself, when you do see him be not faithless. Orations, second oration on Easter, number 24. because by your numerous letters, you have trained my soul to knowledge. But, most reverend friend, cease not both to pray and to plead for me, when you draw down the word, by your word, when with a bloodless cutting, you sever the body and blood of the Lord, using your voice for the sword. Letter to Amphilochius, Bishop of Iconium. If anyone does not believe that Holy Mary is the Mother of God, he is severed from the Godhead. If anyone should assert that he passed through the Virgin as through a channel, and was not at once divinely and humanly formed in her, he is in like manner godless. If any assert that the manhood was formed and afterward was clothed with the Godhead, he too is to be condemned. If any introduce the notion of two sons, one of God the Father, the other of the Mother, and discredits the unity and identity, may he lose his part in the adoption, promised to those who believe aright. For God and man are two natures, as also soul and body are. But there are not two sons or two gods. For neither in this life are there two manhoods. For both natures are one by the combination, the deity being made man, and the manhood deified, or however one should express it. Letter to the priest, Cladonius.